Lady Victoria Gordon has passed away. She leaves behind an empty place in our hearts. Let us pause a moment and bid her farewell in silent prayer. Dear mourners, as we part, I would like to leave you with a few words to reflect upon. Words which have guided Lady Victoria throughout her life in both good and troubled times. So faith, hope, and love abide, these three, said Paul in his letter to the Corinthians. But the greatest of these is love. Now, as we are saying goodbye to Lady Victoria Gordon, let us do so with these words in mind. Amen. Adrian, my sincere condolences.
Thanks.
Your great-grandmother was a quite extraordinary woman.
Yes, she was.
Upright and of good heart.
Yeah, it's a pity I only got to know her so late.
Better late than never. You are Lady Victoria's only kin, and therefore her sole heir. You can now move into the castle and take some time to reflect, to find some peace, Adrian, and say farewell not only to your great-grandmother, but to your old life, too. If you need any help, you know where to find me.
Thank you, Father Frederick.
My condolences, Adrian.
Thanks, Doc.
How are you?
Well, this is the funeral of the last member of my family. That's it. From now on, I'm alone on God's earth. Utterly alone. I suddenly find Mordred's presence in my head a little comforting. He is part of the family, after all.
We could have our session now, if you like.
No, I'd just like to have some space right now. Can we move it to this afternoon?
How about 3 o'clock at my practice?
Okay.
See you then, Adrian.
Adrian Gordon, the last, but not the least. Or maybe he is.
What a great time to say that. But I wouldn't expect anything else from you.
That's right. You even carried your great-grandmother to her grave, who you'd known hardly 3 or 4 weeks. Sorry for your sad loss. That I'm sure you'll get over very quickly. And congratulations on hitting the jackpot.
What jackpot? Do you mean the burned-down castle that I'm duty-bound to rebuild according to the will? Or do you mean my being the last in line of a family of sickos and murderers?
You call it that, but anyone else would call inheriting a magnificent estate and rising up into the nobility an incredible, real stroke of luck. But you were always good at playing the victim.
That's what you think. Any other cop would overcome his prejudices and just look at the facts.
Talking of cops, as you're now a British citizen, I'm afraid I can no longer get you deported. Let me make myself clear. The slightest hint of suspicion, and I'll have you back inside, and that's a promise.
Why do you want to keep me so close to you? Haven't you got any other friends? Why don't you go see Denise more often? That'll take the heat off a bit.
You'll soon stop talking so tough.
Have it your way. And now if you'll excuse me, Inspector, I have to go count my guest bathrooms. Hi, you waiting for me?
Good morning, sir. Yes, we are. Our condolences, by the way.
Thanks. I'm Adrian.
Okay, Adrian. I'm Greg. This is Steve. So, you're the boss now, right?
It looks like it. But I still have to get used to the fact.
Okay, boss. Well, maybe the best thing is for you to start right away. In fact, Miss Angelini has forgotten to give us further instructions.
Instructions? To do with the restoration? I don't know. I haven't managed to have a good look around yet.
Sure. Then perhaps you want to get a general overview first. Well, there is a heck of a lot of building work going on.
So why don't you just get on with your work then?
No offense, sir, to the name of the Gordons, but it would be nice to know if the good lady left anything behind. I mean, apart from the building work.
You mean money-wise?
Yep.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Well, see you later then, sir. We'll wait for you in front of the castle.
So this is my new home, Blackmere Castle. A little more spacious than my college room in the prison cell, if not that much brighter. Maybe the layout of the menhirs is important. I'll note it down on my map. I'll lay a piece of paper on the map and use it to note down all the important information. I think the mailman's been here. I'll have a look. A letter and the newspaper. A letter addressed to me? Strange. I've only just moved in. The Guardian's third virtue is mercifulness. Just as water grows drop by drop and becomes a mighty ocean, so should every call for help be heard and find a sea of answers. Yet another one of those cryptic messages? No thanks. The last one drove me right into the clutches of a head case. What the? The picture of me. That's the one I did for Murray. He can never get enough, can he? I don't want to know what kind of dough he screwed out of the newspaper for that. Well, what does it say here? Blackmere Castle has a new lord of the manor. It has transpired that the young American Darren M., against whom the accusation of arson has yet to be proved, is the last descendant of the Gordon family. Great. Now everyone will think I've torched my inheritance. And what's even worse, that I'm rich. I'll throw the paper away. P.M.B. Dukes, Notary, 21 Upper Brook Street, Ipswich, Suffolk, UK. The keys to the castle the notary gave me. A lunchbox. I guess it belongs to Greg. There's just a large packet of toothpicks in it. Does anyone have that many gaps in the teeth? I'll mark the position of this menhir with a cross. Looks like it's broken.
It was those damn long-haired hippies from the next village.
That's Greg. He watches Steve while he works. If I don't pay Greg, he won't work. If I don't pay Greg, he won't work. Steve, the more industrious of the two workers. I'd really like to know why he's drilling holes in my castle. Hey, Steve.
Yeah?
Why are you drilling holes into the castle?
Oh, it's simple. The foundation walls are full of water from extinguishing the fire. They sucked it up like a sponge. If we don't get the moisture out of the walls, then the whole castle will start to go moldy.
And the water just runs out of the holes? I can't believe that.
Of course not. I'm drilling the holes for these cartridges. There's liquid in them, which crystallizes in the wall and binds the water.
Oh, right. Do you work for free?
No, sir. But unlike Greg, I believe you've got enough money. You have, haven't you?
I own a castle, don't I?
Oh, of course. I was just saying. I mean, you hear all the stories nowadays about poor nobility, and the castle ain't exactly in tip-top condition.
I'm sorting it out. The castle itself is already sinister enough, but the soot on the facade makes it look like something out of a haunted house backdrop. I ought to get it removed. I've now drawn in 3 menhirs. That's the 4th one. Pretty tall, this greenhouse. It's more like an orangery, where lemon trees are housed over the winter. The door is practically rusted solid to the frame. It's obvious that Lewis hasn't seen the inside of the greenhouse for more than 3 weeks. This is in dire need of a good tidy-up. Welcome to the jungle. Half of it is dried out, and the other half is rotten. That was a bucket for water. Maybe I can use it for something else. What have we got here? A garden hose. Hoses have always brought me luck so far. A statue. Is that the White Lady? I doubt it. She's too scantily dressed. Oh God, I see her everywhere, even though she's not there at all. Still, it's a shame she's got so dirty. That must have been one hell of a rake. Now it's just a long wooden stick. The bottom part is broken off. A withered plant. It says Valeriana walrathi on the label here. A withered plant. Nothing more than that. It's very unusual to put carpet down in a greenhouse. The gaps between the tiles haven't been cemented. The tiles here have only been placed loosely next to each other. The tiles here have just been placed loosely on there. There's a trap door underneath them. So where does that lead to? Far down, in any case. It looks like an old well shaft. There's a case on a sort of ledge. Who put that there? Who knows what could be moldering at the bottom of this well? Not exactly what you'd expect from a castle garden. I've got the right key here. The door's unlocked. I assume that there's wine stored in these barrels, but as old as everything here is, could be vinegar by now. These are pipe clips, like metal cable ties. Extremely useful. Quick setting foam, industrial quality, particularly suited to damp areas. The castle's almost completely burned down. No wonder it's so filthy everywhere. A stepladder, like you'd use to change a light bulb, or to hang yourself. There's cleaning stuff, just no one to use it. Great, an extension cable. Huh. Why should the cellar light in Blackmare Castle work? A power socket. But does it have an electricity supply? The bucket is half full of a white salt, probably for when it's icy. Ugh, it's as gloomy here as in Mordred's poor soul. I'm not going any further. I'm sure Victoria wouldn't have hidden her money in the cellar. For some reason, I'm wary of dogs. Tasty. Dried wallpaper paste. A massive block of stone with a secret compartment, but there's nothing in it. I'd already discovered it before the castle fire. The globe is metal. I can't see a weld seam. I wonder how they got it through the door. It's a roll of damp-proof sheeting used in construction. The craftsmen should really cover the floor with it so they don't make everything filthy. I guess that's no big deal while the place is looking like it is. I'll leave it here. If I do need some of the sheeting, I'll know where to find it. The Gordon coat of arms. Pretty uninspiring. I'd expected a fire-breathing dragon or a griffin with bloody claws. Amazing. The new tiles look as old as the old ones. The upper floor is a heap of rubble. The left wing of the castle is really collapsed now. Why this debris was brought into the main hall of the castle and not taken outside will remain an eternal mystery to me. Books about horses, horse breeding, hunting dogs, polo, and so on. The Gordons' hobbies. I'll put in a computer here. All of the books here have Latin titles. Doesn't mean a thing to me. Stories, adventures, and fairy tales. Dickens, Defoe, Anderson, Jules Verne. These are probably the most up-to-date books in this library. In the corner, there's a richly ornamented mighty column. The weight of the castle rests on it. Shakespeare dramas, Shakespeare tragedies, Shakespeare comedies. This will be the shelf for my comic collection. The Encyclopedia Britannica, in at least 3 editions. Will there ever be a bigger reference book? Bibles and religious texts. Some of the editions look damn valuable. Good that the fire didn't spread through here. All of the candles are burned right down. Whatever, I wasn't planning on lighting them anyway. An old mural. Looks like the Last Supper. Someone doesn't seem to have understood what a bookshelf is for. As if the chaos of books wasn't enough, all the drawers have been pulled out just in case. There's probably a minibar hidden in there, but I'm not interested in that right now. My family tree. That's the only part of the library that was damaged by the fire, fortunately. Hello, Madame Fortuna.
Adrian, I knew you would call again.
Who else could it be?
Pick a card.
Stop.
We have the Emperor.
Yeah, on the line. But it was in all the papers, too, so...
What? No, the card, Adrian. The Emperor card. You're gaining in external power and strength. You have a strong will. And I see death.
Again.
A bear will follow you at every turn and devour you.
At every turn. What the
Adrian, you can defeat the bear.
How can I defeat the bear?
Clear the way for the bear. Then he will let you live.
The way for the... yeah. Thanks. What a load of crap.
Dr. Jones's chambers.
Hello, Dr. Jones. Adrian Gordon here.
Wow, Mr. Gordon. What's the score?
About the bail.
Ah, I had wanted to call you about that. Sorry, it slipped my mind. A certain Charles Murray from Willow Creek has deposited the bail with the court. Do you know this man?
Only too well. But I wanted to tell you I'd already found that out myself.
Is he a friend of yours? That's good. Very good, in fact. The more supporters you have, the better. That always goes down well with the judge. People with friends and advocates. Terrific. Keep it up.
Yeah. Dr. Jones, you know much about English inheritance law?
Well, yeah, about as much as a boxer knows about synchronized swimming.
So, not at all.
And that's making a favorable comparison. Are you having problems regarding the inheritance? I could ask around for you.
Don't worry. I'll ask the notary. He's bound to know. Goodbye, Dr. Jones.
Seconds away. Next round, Mr. Gordon. Yes?
Is this Mr. Dukes? Notary for inheritance law and whatnot?
Absolutely correct. And you are?
Gordon. Adrian Gordon.
Ah, Mr. Gordon, my condolences once again for the loss of your great-grandmother.
Thanks.
I'm assuming you still have a few questions concerning the reading of the will yesterday?
Mr. Dukes, can you tell me again what exactly is included in my inheritance?
Well, Mr. Gordon, you're the last descendant of the Gordon lineage and inherit the Black Mirror Castle estate and the one in Wales, a few hundred acres of woodland, as well as the assets in the family bank account amounting to £100, with all privileges and responsibilities.
What responsibilities?
The proper management of the woodland, adherence to hunting regulations, maintenance of the property and the garden. Sale is explicitly prohibited. At most, you can hand it over to the church. Nothing outstanding, no debts. Not a bad inheritance at all, don't you think?
I'll be in touch, Mr. Dukes.
Of course, Mr. Gordon.
I'd love to have a little bit of a rest.